Karen here from LifeFourPointZero, and we are now officially exploring Scotland's famous west coast. We have thought about and researched this area for so long, and now we're here, and we're eager to jump in. In total, we will be on the west coast of Scotland for 3 weeks, so be sure to catch all of our episodes covering this amazing country. Our previous 2 episodes covered our transit of the Caledonian Canal. The first of the 2 was a tips and tricks video, ideal for anyone hoping to transit this canal with its numerous locks, or really, any system of locks. The second covered the attractions we took in along the way. After the canal, we arrived in the town of Oban, famous for its single malt Scotch whiskey. According to their website, Oban, one of Scotland's oldest sources of single malt Scotch whiskey, is just a short meander from the sea. And there they are, right in the center of this charming town. A highlight for any visit to the town of Oban is a walk to McCaig's Tower, which sits atop a prominent hill overlooking the town. And today, McCaig's Tower is a lovely park that is thoroughly enjoyed by locals and visitors alike.
This is called McCaig's Tower, built by a local banker in 1897, apparently to keep stonemasons in the area still employed. So a bit of sort of work progress administration kind of work.
We're looking out over the harbor of outside of Oban, the Carrera Sound. It's the island of Carrera across the way, where we thought we might need to take a mooring over there, but there was room in Oban, so that was exciting. We said goodbye to our daughter at the bus station in Oban, and then set off out the harbor, around the island of Carrera, then southwest toward and along the Isle of Mull. Here's the western side of the island of Carrera, which is just across from Oban. There's some beautiful hiking trails. We're going to be visiting Oban again in a couple weeks, and we may try to come over here and take a hike around this beautiful island. We finally have some sun out today. We are so excited. We have not had a ton of sun in Scotland, but we're hoping that the next few days give us quite a bit. We're going by the southern coast of the Isle of Mull. This long arm that stretches out is called the Ross of Mull, and there's a beautiful waterfall that comes down through the green hills. There's lots of craggy coastline. really interesting cliff structures. We have this regatta going by us. This is the Round Mull, the Isle of Mull race. It was a 3-day race going around the Isle of Mull out here in the west coast of Scotland. And lots of people are sailing downwind with their just with their main. Some people have these beautiful spinnakers out, which is always so fun to watch. There's a pretty one there. Yeah, I think there were supposed to be some 30 boats in this race, so it's fun to watch them go by. This is our first anchorage on the west coast of Scotland. We exited out of the Caledonian Canal and spent a couple days in Oban saying goodbye to our daughter and getting provisions. And now we're anchored on the west coast. We're on the southwestern end of the Ross of Mull. And it's just beautiful. The sun is out. There's a couple sandy beaches that we're gonna go explore. Ah.
Guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
Beers out.
Yeah, we're so excited. Feels like it's really summer. It's July, what, 7? Something like that? Yeah.
Yep.
So, very exciting. Here's where we anchored for the night, with just one other boat. The beach. With these long days, we still have plenty of daylight for exploration. In the morning, we'll head around the corner to the Island of Iona. All right, we are driving through Tinker's Hole, and it's a pretty cool area. We're gonna go anchor off of Iona, so we're not gonna stay here for the night, I don't think. But there's one sailboat behind us over there, and it's a pretty cool area. Very narrow. Supposedly there are rings on the rocks that you can tie to, but I haven't seen any yet. So that you can get more people in here and not have to worry about swinging room. Pretty crazy. Yeah, there's rocks right under the water there. Eek. Yeah, Tinker's Hole. Pretty cool. So we're departing the Tinker's Hole area here, and it is just gorgeous. It sort of reminds me of the Benjamins in Lake Huron. Lots of beautiful colors, that sort of pink granite. Get up on the bow. All right, I think this must be Iona off in the distance. But in here, there's just all these incredible islets all over the place. It's just amazing. It's really beautiful. It'd be so fun to fly a drone through here.
All right, we are anchored off the Island of Iona, and I'm gonna take my lunch up here on the foredeck. Nice ham and avocado sandwich with rye and sunflower seed bread and some red grapes, and a view of the ferry coming in. Can't quite figure out that ferry. Oh, it looks like it's a double ender. That's what's going on there. Looks like places for cars and trucks to roll onto, and passengers there too. We were wondering where to anchor to be far enough away from the ferry. I think we've solved that one. Cool. You got this like huge ramp thing that's coming down off the bow there. It's like the ramp is almost submerged. That's gonna be really tricky because there's current coming through here. There's about a knot of current pushing us, coming down from onto our bow here. So they've got to deal with that kind of cross current and get that ramp down on the boat ramp without being moved around. Lots of people climbing off. Just 2 cars came off, but lots and lots of people. And a dog. Wow, that's a lot of people coming off. Wow.
Here's the nunnery on Iona. They lived here for 350 years. I love how the wildflowers are growing in and amongst the ruins. It's quite pretty. This building here is the medieval parish church where the islanders worshipped between 1200 and 1560. According to this plaque, excavations have revealed traces of an earlier chapel here, possibly dating to the 700s. Beneath were burials of an even earlier date, showing there was a thriving island population in the early days of Columba's monastery. Interestingly, all of the skeletons found in this area belonged to women. This structure was built in the 1200s, so it's pretty old. It's pretty impressive that there's so much of it standing. What's remarkable is you almost always see at least the arches standing. So they were constructed quite sturdily. This is quite the garden. It's for the hotel. They serve lunch. I'm sure it would be yummy. This is the old parish church. I don't know if it's still in use or not. In 1824, the government engaged Thomas Telford, FRS, to design and build 32 churches and 43 manses in remote Highland parishes. He built this church and manse in 1830. So we're up on the hill on the island of Iona, and there's a artistic shop here. Lots of crocheted products and some glass products and some jewelry. And I am just loving the building. It's very cool. So old. The grounds are lovely. I think a ferry must have just come and dropped a bunch of people off, because we got a whole bunch of people up here. And there's Sea Rose out in the anchorage. Lots and lots of people. Here's the Iona Abbey, for which many visitors make the trek to this lovely island. According to literature on display here, this abbey was a focal point for the spread of Christianity throughout Scotland, and it marks the foundation of a monastic community by Saint Columba. This is recognized as one of the oldest Christian religious centers in Western Europe. These are the abbey grounds. They're just lovely. There's lots of flowers, gardens, lots of areas that are well taken care of. So we're literally pinching ourselves because this is our second day of sun in a row. We're so excited. In the distance, there is a cruise ship that is dropping. A wee cruise ship that is dropping its passengers off here. And I could almost say I need sunscreen. We read an article that talked about the Scottish weather around various parts of Scotland, and like how rainy and cold and windy it is. And we're like, yeah, we got it. But hey, if this is how this part of Scotland is, we'll take it. We're psyched. It's beautiful. Join us next time as we visit a couple of the small isles on our way toward the Sound of Sleat, and then continue to begin a circumnavigation of the Isle of Skye. We always love your comments. Tell us your favorite spots on the west coast of Scotland. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and be sure to give us a like if you enjoy our content. Until next time.